Hello everyone, this is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the Bitcoin Focus Show. Today is September the 9th, 2019. Strong hand, long-term thinking, deferral of gratification. That's what we're going to talk about today. Yes, this is an NFL opening day weekend special. For all you people still addicted to the NFL, you are going to learn about how I broke my addiction to the NFL in 2016 and the great benefits that it brought. And some of you are going to look back and say, oh my, Bitcoin was so cheap back then. Why was I paying attention to football and not to Bitcoin? And why wasn't I buying Bitcoin like Adam was and learning about Bitcoin? This is a classic. Pound that like button. Enjoy all the clips. I will see you later. Bye.
Magic Johnson. Yes, Magic Johnson is the first person to put down a deposit on Los Angeles Rams tickets. Oh, how exciting. Now you can spend $100 just to reserve the right to purchase your LA Rams ticket. Season tickets. That is a terrible use of your $100. You're just giving your $100 to incredibly wealthy people so they can make interest off of it, and you lose control of your $100. What you should do is you should take that $100 and put it into Bitcoin, because then you're in control of it. It will gain value instead of letting greedy NFL owners gain interest on your $100, so then you can give them more money to buy their ludicrous tickets at the LA Coliseum when you could just watch the game at home. You know, it's a total example of hyper-consumerism, what Magic Johnson is leading you into. He's supposed to be a great financial mind here. He's supposed to be a role model, but he's giving you horrible mainstream media financial advice. He's telling you to give your money to let some rich people hold it so you can't do anything with your $100. I'm telling you, in this world, you have the opportunity to control your money, to put it into Bitcoin, to let it flourish. I mean, it's a risk, but heck, it's better than letting the LA Rams and the NFL hold your money. And guess what? You know, we're talking about hyper-consumerism and wasting money. All of you should drop your cable TV, okay? How much do you guys spend on cable TV a year? I don't know, $800? Something completely insane. Dude, you cut the cable, get on the internet, read a book, and use that money to buy Bitcoin.
As you can see, I'm still posting a new video every day, so that's something interesting about this channel, even when I'm in faraway Las Vegas. Hey, oh God, today is the NFL opening day. And it is like the mindless, wasteful holiday of the Americans who are just, I mean, they don't want to live in reality. This has become their reality, these games. And you know, everyone knows I am a big Baltimore Orioles fan. That's a baseball team. And a few of you know that I have been into the Baltimore Ravens for many years. But last year I was traveling quite a bit and I didn't really watch them very much. But this year I am making a point not to waste time on the Baltimore Ravens at all. I mean, because the NFL has become such a waste of time for so many people, and I'm here preaching. I'm talking to so many of you about bettering your lives and spending your time in a better way and spending your money in a better way. And I don't spend money on the NFL, but me spending a lot of time looking at statistics of Joe Flacco or whatever and actually watching the games, going out of my way to watch the games. And the game is going on right now. You know, when I was young, it'd be unimaginable for me not to see the game. But that you're better, you know, dedicating yourself to Bitcoin than the NFL. And so I'm going to practice what I preach, and that's it. I am dedicating myself to Bitcoin during Sundays, and I'm going to focus on Bitcoin so much more in times that I would have been maybe like looking up NFL stuff. And again, I cut down on my NFL. But I mean, right now you can go downstairs to that casino and there are grown men with different colored shirts on, screaming and yelling, and it's just such a horrible waste. And they're blowing their money on beer and gambling and just things that are associated with the NFL when they could be just buying one Bitcoin and bettering their lives and, helping. When you buy one Bitcoin, you're doing something for society that's better than just this NFL mindlessness, because it is such a waste of time and just creating more, getting into the NFL, feeding that monster, just creating more mindless people. And we don't want more of that. We want smart people. And guess what? Even me talking about this, if I had 1 billion subscribers, it wouldn't make a difference, because some people just enjoy being mindless and being numb and won't even get into Bitcoin. So if you get into Bitcoin, you're going to have an advantage. Everyone, have a great day. Remember what happened 15 years ago. I will talk to you later. Bye.
The price of Bitcoin's been jumping. We're around 470 now, and that's more than it's been for a while. Here in the United States, and also I guess in Canada, you have all these people who love sports and politics. That's what they're talking about. The hockey game, the football game, the Clinton, the Trump. I mean, I personally have spent so much time in my life on the Baltimore Orioles, my favorite baseball team. And pastimes can be fun, but we have a country just obsessed with sports and politics. And they spend so much time on these things that, I mean, it's normal for public money, millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, to fund these stadiums. And these are our priorities in North America, it seems like. Now in China, their currency is being devalued, and they have all sorts of problems with capital controls. And some Chinese are finding ways to get their money out of China. And we've been seeing the results for a while. Vancouver real estate prices are insane. This is because of Chinese. It's affecting the real estate prices all over the West Coast, actually. I mean, and tonight it's affecting the Bitcoin and Litecoin price, I believe. Some of this is caused by Chinese people just trying to get their money out of China. And you know what? All of these price hikes in real estate, you have a bunch of North Americans screaming and crying about it and blaming the Chinese, while all we do is talk about the Dallas Cowboys and do nothing but follow sports and Hillary Clinton. I mean, China isn't into the Dallas Cowboys, okay? And it's paying off for them. I mean, they are dominating Bitcoin. They're buying places in Vancouver. So it gets you thinking about our future, and that this country and Canada, I mean, if people follow the price of Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum like they follow the freaking scores of the Golden State Warriors game, if they had that much dedication, even a quarter of the dedication to, and it's fun to follow these price hikes. It's fun as anything to see Bitcoin going up. I mean, pay more attention to cryptocurrencies would mean more adoption and the price would go up. I mean, imagine the price spikes in Bitcoin if Americans really got into it. And we have to hype the halving, we have to hype Bitcoin so Americans and Canadians and Westerners really get into cryptocurrency. Because look, the Chinese are doing it. They're boosting the price right now, and they're going to leave a lot of North Americans behind to only complain in the future. Oh, why didn't I get into it? I was too busy following the freaking NHL game or NFL game or the NCAA Final Four. So, I mean, it would be a great world, a great country again. Make America great again, Trump says. America would be great if everyone started paying attention to the Bitcoin price and following it like they follow a freaking Ravens Steelers game, okay? So that's my message for tonight. I'm Adam Meister. Good night.
And many of you have not heard of Bitcoin before, and you're only stumbling upon this because I'm talking about the National Football League also. Now, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I have been a huge fan of the Baltimore Ravens since 1996 when they started off in Baltimore. And I've been through a lot with them. I used to watch every single solitary game. I'd go out of my way. I didn't spend a lot of money on them or anything, but I spent a lot of time on them. and I've always been a big sports fan since I was a kid. So I spent a lot of time on the NFL, on college football. I'd follow every sport, the NBA even, and just keep track of everything. Just have everything, because I like statistics also. I like numbers, and that's why if you're a numbers guy, you should get into Bitcoin. But we're going to get to that. Anyway, at the beginning of this season, the 2016 season, there was some controversy in the NFL with San Francisco's quarterback, Colin Kaepernick, was protesting. Who knows what he was protesting? He's protesting some stuff, and I'm all for people protesting, and do it at your own peril. If you're gonna, you're supposed to be an entertainer, and you have a job to do, and people are watching you because they like sports. They're not watching you because they want some intellectual to have an intellectual discussion with you, or talk about politics. And so I found it just like, what has become of the NFL? What has become of sports? What has become of mainstream society, really? Because NFL is really representing the mainstream America. And I was in Las Vegas, actually, on opening day. That was September 11th. And I wasn't sure how I was even going to watch the Ravens. I was really disgusted already with just all the politics that had been infused into the NFL. And, I really started, my Bitcoin knowledge and just diving into it had just started taking up more and more of my time, valuable time. And I was working out in the D. The D is the hotel I was staying at in Las Vegas. And of course, no one else was working out there because everyone's gambling and getting fat and smoking cigarettes. And the TV was blasting, and it was some pregame show. I don't even know. Trent Dilfer was, I guess it was ESPN. I don't know. Trent Dilfer was talking, and there were two other guys talking. Two other guys were former players also, and just to hear their politics, Trent Dilfer was very logical when he was explaining the situation. He was just like, Colin Kaepernick has a job to do. He's not doing his job. He's distracting from the team. The other guys were just like talking politics, and again, I'm not here for intellectual stimulation or political arguments. They say they attended college and everything. I don't know. Anyway, they sounded it was just pretty pathetic what they were saying, and at that moment I was just like, this is a waste of time. I've spent so much time on the NFL and the Ravens in my life. Not this year. I'm not watching any game. I'm not following any game. I don't care. I'm spending my time on Bitcoin, and I'm just trying to be a more productive person. So ever since then, I have not watched a second of the NFL. If it comes, they throw it in your face sometimes. I see college football scores. I didn't even realize the college football season was over. Regular season. I've been traveling. I've just been spending my time in just such a more productive manner. And I know so many other people are boycotting the NFL and are against the NFL now because it's just silly. It's just silly what it's become this political thing, and so much money is wasted on it by Americans. And so I urge all of you, if you're stumbling upon this video where you search the Baltimore Ravens fan, whatever you're finding, your NFL boycott, if you have, it's easy to do. I never thought in the old days, how Adam doesn't watch a Ravens game, Adam doesn't follow a Ravens game, Adam doesn't know the Ravens record. I don't know what place they're in. I don't know what place they're in at all. The scores do get thrown in your face eventually, but I don't go out of my way to find it, and it's the kind of a relief feeling. Even my father tried to talk to me about it. I'm like, I don't watch it anymore, Dad. I don't. That's great. Joe Flacco, that's great. Whatever. So, Bitcoin. I urge you to get into Bitcoin. If you would have, on September 11th, Bitcoin was $600. Now it is close to $770. Had you could have made quite a lot of money since then, if you would have been studying it, buying it, instead of watching the Ravens or watching the Packers or watching whoever, which is just a total waste of your time. You're making the traditional media richer. You're making the traditional business people, they don't care about you. The owners of the NFL really think you're a fool. They move from St. Louis to Los Angeles. They don't care. San Diego to Los Angeles. They don't care about fans. They just want the biggest TV market. But the ratings are down. I mean, people are fighting back, and I think that's a great sign to send a signal to send these people. But who cares what they think or what you have to better yourself. That's what this is all about. And I wasn't bettering myself by wasting hours upon hours, studying statistics of the Ravens and, comparing it to games of yore and, watching Ray Lewis celebrate from a couple years ago and just reliving all that crap. It's a waste of time. It's for the ignorant. It's for the masses. If you want to be part of the masses, or be my guest, be my guest. And again, if it stops being so political, then whatever. But I'm saying it can be done. I had an addiction to the NFL, to the Baltimore Ravens, and I totally broke it cold turkey. I now spend that time probably on Bitcoin, on travel, which is related. My travel has been only related to Bitcoin. I was in Africa. And I urge you to watch my videos, and you can learn more about Bitcoin and my adventures and travel and all sorts of fun things. I think it's a better spending your time watching a couple of my 5-minute videos, or this one's running long, but than watching a second of the NFL, because I have not watched a second of the NFL, and I'm really proud of that fact. And I'm just trying to urge guys out there, and ladies, but not many ladies are into Bitcoin at all, but just to get into Bitcoin and just forget about these bread and circuses type of things. You'll become a more well-rounded person. You'll become I think that's the biggest thing. You'll become a wealthier person. You really will if you use your time wisely on Bitcoin instead of the NFL. And again, people are probably saying, what is the connection between the NFL and Bitcoin? There is no connection at all. I'm just telling you how to be a more productive person, not to screw your brain over by listening to morons talk about politics and protest stuff. And what are you getting into? It was supposed to be a pastime. It was supposed to be something you and your dad could enjoy. Sit down and just so now it's just a bunch of advertisements, and it's just like mind-numbing. It's just mind-numbing all around. And the political thing was just the last thing for me, obviously. And I'm a guy who thinks politicians, they're sociopaths, most of them. Right? They're just scum. They just want to have power over you. And this is a power thing. If you by following the NFL, by getting caught in this paradigm of this quarterback guy, he's so wise. Oh wow, he's so wise. Getting stuck into that, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. And when you could be focusing on what's this new form of money that's out there? What's this new way, this new technology that's out there, Bitcoin, that is changing humanity? It's altering humanity and changing the world, giving us real freedom, empowering people financially, making people who are lower class, middle class, and bumping them up if they play things the right way. At the very least, try to cut your addiction to the NFL. I did it. I never, 10 years ago, I never could have predicted anything like this. But life changes. New things come. Bitcoin is revolutionary. The NFL is whatever the opposite of revolutionary is. It's enslavement. It's total enslavement. Break out of your enslavement. And hey, you don't have to be as orthodox as me. You can check the score if you want to still or whatever. But don't try to cut your time down with it and move on to this Bitcoin thing.